Welcome to another episode of Out from the Horrorbox. I'm your host, Dom, and this is going to be the first episode of the new year, but the last episode for this productive year of 2025. So hopefully you guys had a pretty good year and you're having a good new year. But this is going to be a little bit more relaxed. I'm going to go off the cuff kind of. It's going to be basically my final thoughts of the year. I'm going to go over the not top films, but all the horror films that I saw this year. I'm gonna just go in order from like my least favorite ones to my top favorite ones, and hopefully, we'll work something out at the end, towards the end of it. Like I said, mainly off the cuff, nothing spectacular, nothing too crazy. It might be long, it might be short, but who knows? I might ramble on a little bit here and there. I might ramble off, and I'll go off course or something. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So let's start off with The Conjuring Last Rites. I'm going to say this is probably not my favorite, probably my least favorite, not of the franchise, but of the horror films I've seen this year. I'm eventually going to get to the Conjuring series. We'll probably do the next year, but as of right now, this one, it was the most superhero-y feeling one. They all have their powers that they're gonna be doing, and then they got their young Avengers in there too. And I don't know, the story was just very not good. Like, they wanted to wrap up their story, the Warrens, and obviously they didn't touch upon a lot of the bad things that they did and how much frauds they are. But we also, just the story wasn't that great. It was just like half of the story was them, half of the story was the family with the cursed mirror or whatever, and then that even felt kind of hokey at times. I don't know. Like, I really like I thought the third one was bad. I will say that The Devil Made Me Do It was really bad, because it sucks too, because it's like the first Conjuring is so good. And the second one, I think, is a pretty good follow up. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I think the second one's a good sequel. It's not the best one. It's just a good sequel. The third one was boring. I remember watching it during like COVID when it came out, because it came out on HBO. Do not recommend that one. I think that one is the weakest one of all of them. I completely forgot about it. I'm pretty sure most people forget about it. I'm pretty sure that's why they didn't call this one the Conjuring 4 Last Rites or something, because I think then it would have people remember the third one. I think it went off. The third one was so bad that they're like, we have to make one more to kind of end everything, because the third one's not a good ending. Yeah, I really don't have a lot to say. I'll probably talk about it more when I review them. So let's move on to Him. Now, Him, I like the idea. I love the story. I think it's pretty good. It's just it was a little here and there, but I think, Marlon Wayans, he does a really good job, and I think, like I said, the stories. I like the story. I like the idea of the story. This kind of Illuminati esque, like, thing behind like football players and everything. It's just it's kind of funny. It's kind of interesting. You know what he goes through to become him. Like the ultimate football player. It's fun. It's a little like um Ready or Not, where in the end he like decides I'm gonna let this burn. I'm gonna let this burn down. And it's fine. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again, but it's okay if you haven't seen it. I don't know if I'd recommend it if it's on like streaming and there's really nothing else to watch. Maybe put it on. It's okay if you're interested. Put it on, but other than that, you're good. And then next we got Clown in a Cornfield, and this one was good. It was just my sister said it was like it was exactly the book. She read the book and she said that it was like it's exactly like reading the book, except I think they changed around just a couple things, but it's very short. I think it was only like an hour and a half, maybe even less, and it wasn't predictable. Like it wasn't scary. Like ooh, it was a ghost the whole time or something. You know what I mean? Like it has like a reason for what is going on, but still, when you learn the reason, it's like, man, I think this could have been. I think this could have been better. Um, I don't know if they're making the because I know there's two sequels to the books. I don't know if they're making those into films. I don't think so. I don't think this one did that well. But if they do, I mean, I'd love to see them just to see where they go with them. But other than that, it really didn't make a splash in my head. I completely forgot about it too. Next up is Carpenter's Son. Now this one, okay, I do put it lower because I forgot about it. Now, honestly, I really forgot that this movie came out, and I didn't see it that long ago. I think I saw it maybe like a month ago, maybe a little bit. Two? No, was it 2 months ago? Wow. No, maybe it had to be less than that. Anyways, I saw this, and I think this is a good part for Nicolas Cage to play. I think if he did like when he does very unique characters and where he's not trying to be like a regular person, I think he does shine. I think that's when you get to be like, oh, okay, I really can see why he won an Oscar. But when he's trying to be regular people, that's when it's like, you don't know how to be a regular person, do you? And for the most part, it's like it's okay. Like I guess they get things like I don't know, right or about the time period. I don't know. It's very like you can tell like someone was like, how do we turn Jesus into a horror movie? And then you get to the end and he's like battling like a demon and this and that and it's Satan and whatever. And that part that's the cool part. Everything leading up to that's a little boring here and there. Um, but I think Nicolas Cage needs to do things like this where he's it's just out there and weird. I don't know if I'd recommend seeing it. Like I said, it can be boring at certain parts. Um, but overall, I think the last scene makes up for everything. So if you want to see like Jesus battle a very young Jesus battling a demon, then yeah, watch it. Next, we got Megan 2.0. Now, I never saw. All right, I never saw that one. The first one I didn't see. It looked dumb. I thought, and everybody was doing all like the dances and they were all hyped up for it, and everybody loved the first one. And my friend told me about it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And like I watched like reviews of it and stuff, and it just doesn't like appeal to me too much. But then, when I saw the trailer for this one, I was like, this looks like the dumbest movie that's gonna be made this year. I have to see this. it looks so stupid. And so I did, and it really is ridiculous. But I love that they did that. That they went ridiculous. They were like, it's a ridiculous concept to begin with, and we're just gonna go ridiculous with it. We're gonna go over the top. I love that, like with some of these Blumhouse films, the first one's a very just straightforward, whatever horror film, and their sequels are always just like, how do we make this crazier? Like Happy Death Day to Me. Like Happy Death Day was, I never saw that one, and then I went in seeing Happy Death Day to Me, not knowing what the first one was about, and like learning that this one was gonna be about like quantum time travel and this and that and whatever. It's so crazy. It's like, wait, is this what the first one's about? And my friend was like, no, the first one's not about any of this. Like the first one, just she just keeps like reliving the day, kind of Groundhog's Day style, until she figures out, you know, it was this guy who actually did it. And in this one, it's just like they keep having to do it until like they have to like solve some other thing that's causing this loop time, and like they end up figuring out like time travel and stuff. It's crazy. It's a crazy one. But then with this one, with Megan 2.0, it's even weirder. Like there's another robot, and then there's like the guy who hates robots, who uses the robots to destroy the robots because he hates the robots for ruining his life or whatever. I don't know. It was just like crazy all around, and they couldn't trust Megan, and they could trust Megan, and they couldn't trust her, and just like this and that, back and forth, and like it's zany out there. She quips so much. It's so weird. It's so crazy. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious because it was like, why are you turning her into like a James Bond? What? Like she's like flying through the air, and then they're doing all this like other stuff. So crazy. Just it's mind boggling. Like how like they take this crazy premise and they decide, how do we make it crazier? How do we make it even crazier premise? It's so weird. But let's move on to Together. So Together was a film from Dave Franco and Alison Brie, and they had some controversy when it came out that I heard about, like them like taking an older script that had been sent to them, and then them basically copying it, and then I don't know. I don't really know what happened. Like I guess it was like a short. I don't know, a short film or something, or maybe it was a feature. And I know like certain elements kind of lined up, but not everything did. I have no idea what that other thing was, but this film I know got a lot of praise when it first came out, and it's it's good. It's got a lot of ooh, like oh man, ooh, like when they pull their skin apart and stuff like that. But overall, it's fine. I mean, if it's on, put it on. Uh, it's very like trans confirming. I don't know, like or like non-binary confirming because what happens like like their bodies are just essentially being pulled together, and that just and if you don't care what I'm gonna spoil it, whatever, it's my podcast. I can spoil it if I want to. They eventually like you learn that like the guy next door, him and his partner merged together, but because they were both guys, so it like created like a new guy that kind of looked like the old guy. So like they couldn't tell, but then they're like merging together, and then in the end they kind of merge together as one like other person that kind of looks like both of them put together. And then there's the one part where they're having sex, and they get in the bathroom of the school, and they get caught together. Just crazy, weird. And I feel like it would hurt so much, like to just get caught, just somebody like that. And I mean, Alison Brie is amazing. Dave Franco does a pretty good job. He's Dave Franco. Um, he's like his character's reluctant to stay together, and then like that's the whole thing is that oh no, now they have to be together. Meh, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was as like when it first came out and you were seeing like the praise, like the best horror film of the year. Nah, I don't think so. This was not the best horror film by a long shot. Next up, we got The Long Walk. I think The Long Walk was a pretty good Stephen King adaptation. Stephen King's been on a roll with adaptations for like the past couple of years. So and especially this year was pretty Stephen King adaptation heavy. This was honestly, I think, pretty good. I didn't. I think like Life of Chuck might have been a little bit better than this. Um, I think I didn't get to see The Running Man. I wanted to see The Running Man, of but The Long Walk I think does pretty fine. Fine job. I mean, it's pretty like, man, that's fucked up. Damn, they just murdered those kids right in front of us. Like, I can't believe that they just murdered those kids. You know what I mean? Like, so it's very brutal, very intense some of the time. So, like, if you're going into it like, I don't know if I can watch this like this, then I would say maybe not. If you can't take like them just showing them just like murdering people right on screen, then don't watch it. But other than that, I mean, it's still pretty good. I think they did change the ending from the novel, but I think it still works for the film. I do think that the novel's ending probably would have been better, but whatever. Next up, we got Keeper, and Keeper is Osgood Perkins' second film for this year. It's so crazy. He's like a Yorgos Lanthimos putting out two films in a year. It's so crazy, especially because The Monkey comes with a trailer like for this, a promotion for this film. And Keeper isn't what you're thinking. Whatever you think the story is going to be, it's not that. It's not what you think it is. It's not just a straightforward. Even when you learn what's going on, it's not straightforward. It's very Black Coat's Daughter coded. It's very much closer to that than The Monkey, or I'd say maybe I think closer to like Long Legs and Black Coat's Daughter than The Monkey. The Monkey is very different, and I'll get to that. But Keeper is very strange. Highly recommend watching it because it's very crazy, especially towards the end. It's a very slow moving film to begin with, but it's got a lot of his humor too. Osgood Perkins loves to throw in some humor every once in a while to stimulate everything. But yeah, it's one that's weird and out there. But this is where I'm going to start saying like highly recommend watching it because if you got time, if there's like if it's like it's kind of spooky, kind of that time where you're like, oh, I want something watch something a little freaky, a little more creepy, a little more spooky. It's not. It's um. It's good. It's good. It's got a crazy ending, very crazy ending. So just keep up that knowledge if you like freaky, creepy, weird endings. This has got you. This is one that you gotta check out. Next up is VHS Halloween, and honestly, this was one of my favorites from the year. It stood out because it was such a good, as VHS has been on a roll. This is such a good VHS film. It has a lot of great and memorable or like the vignettes in it, the different shorts in it. The first one's dumb. I really don't like it. I really wish they wouldn't have put that one in there. It's not that great. But like the wraparound story is pretty good with the Diet Phantasm or whatever the Phantasm drink or whatever it is. The second story I know my friend was like, it's okay. It's a little and like his was more like it just goes up like a slope, a straight slope. Mine I like that one. What was the third one? Oh man, now I'm blanking. But I did a whole review. And I re-ranked all of them. So if you want to go onto YouTube and see, I re-ranked all of them. But this one, like the one with the videos, with the kids, man, that's messed up. So messed up. That one was good with the seance with the phone. That one was pretty good. The last one is just like a standout, and it's really good. I very much highly recommend if you're going through the VHSs, you gotta check this one out because this one I think stands above with like some of the other good ones, not the great ones. The great ones are the first two. The first two are gonna be no one's gonna, and maybe VHS Beyond. I think I said those three are the best ones because they just have like solid shorts in them from beginning to end. Like they maybe one of them has like a couple that may I think like the bike one is a little with the zombies, but I still think that's not too terrible. I think the first one with I don't know. I think all of them are really good in the first one, but VHS Beyond is really good. I think the only one that kind of was like kind of meh about Beyond was maybe like the dog segment with the pets. That one I don't think needed to be there, but other than that, like the wraparound story is still really good. But for VHS Halloween, it's the can the fun size one, where that one's kind of divisive because some people don't like it, some people don't like do like it. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I would love to see just a film based off of that. I think that's such an interesting story. But really, I do recommend, especially when Halloween comes around again, you gotta watch it. You do. I think it's gonna be part of my rotation now because I mean VHS was already, but this one definitely it's very like gets you in that mood for the Halloweeny season. Next up we got and this one I very much surprised did not make a bigger splash. Shelby Oaks. It's from the YouTuber who does movie critic on YouTube, Chris Stuckman. And honestly, I got to see it early. I got to see it like 2 weeks prior, and I did like a mini review, and I was going to do a full review, and then things just ended up kind of like getting bumped all over the place, and then some things started happening, and if you listen to my update episodes, you'll understand why. I got tangled up in a lot of things, but Shelby Oaks is really good. I think Chris Stuckman, Chris Stuckman and his freshman his film debut. I think this was actually a solid film. I know a lot of people came out of it being like, "Oh well, well, this and that," and I can nitpick here and I can nitpick there, and it's like I think you're just trying to do that because he's nitpicky on his thing on his channel, and there's times where it's like he gives like some reviews that are just like, okay, come on, you're gonna say that, and like I don't know, I feel like they were just trying to get back at him for like him giving some movies that they liked bad reviews or something. I don't know. I just feel like there's some dumb people out there that are just like this wasn't good because I could already hear when the movie was done and we were in the theater and the people behind us you could just hear big stinky disgusting ugly virgin nerds back there just like um uh why did it start off like that and then it moved to this and I was so bored with this and then jump scare you could just hear them mouth breathing back there already and it's just like I would love to see you to make a film then dude. Like I get that like he was able to get his foot in the door somewhere, get this idea made, and it worked out for him. But honestly, it works. I love the idea of like starting off a documentary style, giving you the information in a more organic way than like having to sit there and I don't know, like oh, yeah, my sister. I was gonna say Shelby Oaks. I always want to call her Shelby Oaks. It's like Riley. That's the girl's name, but I always want to call her I want to call the main character, not the main character, but the character who disappeared, Shelby Oaks, but she's not. Shelby Oaks is the name of a town. And I really wish he wouldn't have called it Shelby Oaks. um, just because I wish he really wouldn't have, because then it really confuses me, and I always want to say like Shelby Oaks is a character, and they're not. It's just a town. But it's solidly made. The acting is good. I think the ending is really well, like it set up. My only thing is I kind of wish maybe it was a little bit. There are parts where I wish it was a little bit longer, kind of got into a little bit more, or I wish, honestly, I'd like to see a sequel, because there's more lore that I wish they would get into, and like things that are said about things that we are like, ooh, I'd like to learn more about that. I would like to learn more about that. And I just feel like it kind of came and went, and nobody talked about it. Nobody, like, people didn't go see it. People didn't say anything. And I've been anticipating this because I heard about this film, like, I think I talked about it like a year or two ago, maybe, or something. And I've been anticipating this for a while because I've been like, hey, it's Chris Stuckman's first film. I'll give it a chance. I mean, I'll give any movie a chance. I mean, and usually I like movies, and I love just like going to movies and film and all that. So usually I'm not going to be. My whole style is try to be as optimistic as I can going in. So then when I'm sitting there watching it, hey, I'm having a good time watching this for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm already here to nitpick this film and be like, oh, oh, the lighting was off right there. Oh, how come they did that when they could have done this? Oh man, how come they opened the door? No, they shouldn't have opened the door, because then they would have done that. Then the story wouldn't have happened. It's just a lot of dumb stuff like that, where it's like, you're getting mad at nothing. You're really getting mad at nothing and then complaining about it. Shove off. Let's move on. Although, before we move on, I want to say, see it if you can. It's pretty good. I'm going to try and get my family to watch it when I think it should be on streaming already. But yeah, check it out if you can. But now let's move on. The next up, we got the Toxic Avenger, the remake with Peter Dinklage, and I don't remember who plays the bad guy, but Elijah Wood's in it. And this movie was hilarious. I wasn't intending on seeing it, and I just remember hearing about it, and I think it was supposed to come out like a while ago, and it just didn't. And then finally, I know that when they finally got the distribution and everything for it, a lot of the money that they made from that, from just the like theatrical run, I know they donated a lot of that, and I was to like people who don't have a lot of access to like health insurance, like getting people like stuff like that, especially because that's what this film is about. You know, someone who loses their job, and because they don't have the correct health insurance, they are going to essentially they're going to die, and they have a kid to take care of, and it's like so like on the nose. Like, that's what I love. I love it's so satirical. It's so satirical on the nose that it's like shoving it up the nose, like get it, but like they do it in a funny way, in a way that like makes you think like, yeah, I don't understand why we live in a world like this. And when they make fun of them, they show how stupid these people who run this system are. They're just ridiculous. They're caricatures. They're disgusting. And then it's funny because it's like the person who's standing up for everybody is the one who looks disgusting, and you would think would be like, hey, you're the monster. It's like, no, they're the monster. Like, just because he looks like that doesn't, not a fault of his own. Obviously, we learn that, but they're literally monsters. And If you can see it, see it. Peter Dinklage does a good job. Like I said, it is funny. It's really good. It's trauma, and if you know anything about trauma, you know that it's disgusting too, and very sexual, and very just over the top, and it's hilarious. And I very much highly recommend it. Check it out. So now we're getting into my top 10 horror films of the year. And we're going to start off with Good Boy. And if you didn't see Good Boy is the story of like a haunting in a house, but from the point of view of the dog. And you're thinking, that's the whole movie. Yes, that's the whole movie. It's not a very long film, but when they do go, because when I saw it, they took us through like in the film, it takes you kind of through like what they not in the film, sorry, in the post credit, or like at least for the showing that we saw, they take you through at the end like, hey, this is how we kind of got the dog to act like this, and it was like shot over like, I don't know if it was like a year or two or something. Like it was shot over a long period of time, where it was literally the guy, the director, and like his wife, who was like a producer or something. And basically, they just would take a couple of hours out of the day and shoot like these scenes, and they would just get the dog to do certain things. You know, they would get like the way that the dog just naturally emoted is amazing. And just like they would do certain things and they would get the reaction, and then when they would cut it into the film, it just like naturally looks like the dog is reacting to these things. And like they don't really, like, they didn't do anything to like scare the dog or like, but like just the way that they were able to like be like, go here, or like, here boy, or something, or like, there, go there. And like just like his response, like the way like he would look would just be like, oh, that's like, obviously it wasn't every shot, but like there would be some takes where it was just like, perfect. That looks perfect for what we're trying to cut this into. And they got it. They got it down really well. And I think it works really well. And it's a good little like story of a doggy, and you know, a good boy, and you know, he's just trying to fend these demons and monsters off from his owner. And I think it's like I think it's supposed to be like I think it was like a demon or a ghost or something. And like he's able to fight it back and help his owner, because he gets like sick progressively, and then like he's able to get it out, and it's really good. It's a solid one. Highly recommend it. Next up, Death of a Unicorn. And you know, when I heard this last year, like this film, Death of a Unicorn's coming out, and I was like, what? What could this be? This sounds hilarious. And then you learn like the cast is Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, Taya Leone, Richard E. Grant, and Will Portner is in it, and it's hilarious. There's just so much, like, they're ridiculous. The three rich people, Will Portner, Richard E. Grant, and Taya Leone, they're hilarious just from beginning to end when they're introduced, and they're just like over the top rich people. And then Paul Rudd, you know, and I think Jenna Ortega have a pretty good, you know, back and forth. I think Jenna Ortega does a really good job in this. The CG is a little funky here and there, but I think it works for the film. I think the idea of like the what the unicorns do, and like that their horns can do, is crazy. And then like you learn that like it can bring everything back to life, and it heals things and stuff. Crazy. And then they just want to do what rich people do, you know, profit off of it, like a miracle drug. And it was good. I thought it was really good. I was able to show my mom the film, and she loved it. I've been telling her for like half a year to be like to watch it, and finally she watched it, and she was like, "Yeah, that was really good. Why didn't I see it in theaters?" I was like, "I don't know. I've been telling you this whole time. You need to see it." Um, but let's move on to the next one. Companion. Companion came out earlier this year. and it's so good. Sophie Thatcher does a great job. What's his name? Jack Quaid, great. And like this idea of like this essentially it's ex machina, but like if she was a sex robot, and like I think it's great that like you know this robot's able to, or companion is able to, you know, start like thinking of itself as more than just the robot. And then it's not about like, oh, she's just like a killer robot, but it's like, no, like you're like, think about like agency and like all this stuff. And like Harvey Guillaume, I don't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he's from What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. They're all doing great jobs, and I think this one is just, it's so good. Like it's not like it's another one of those ones that are just like not too long. It came out earlier in the year, and I think a lot of people ended up forgetting about it. It really stood out to me because it was a pretty good film. I really do highly recommend it. It's a pretty good one. All right, so let's move on to the Black Phone 2, which is obviously the follow up to the Black Phone, which I was kind of surprised at, like, you know, how they were going to do it, because obviously they killed off the grabber. Spoilers for the first one. And how they were going to bring everything back, especially with, like, but I mean, they already kind of played around with setting something in um that universe in one of the VHSs. It's in one of the VHS, I think it's 85, is set in that same universe. So it's kind of crazy that, like, when you think about it. Um, and I was really skeptical, but then, you know, I started seeing like the promotion stuff for it, like the trailers and stuff. I was like, maybe this might be pretty good after all. And honestly, they did it really good. Like, I liked it the way that they did it. It wasn't too ridiculous. I love that they brought back the same characters, and it's still like that same, it had the same feeling, and like it was just due to like maybe like the psychic energy or whatever it was that was able to bring him back. And I love the sister. She's hilarious. And I love that she gets to shine more in this. And I love the way that they do like her visions in like that like film look, like when when she's seeing, and it's just so good. It was just a really good sequel done right. I don't know if they could do another one. I really hope they don't. I hope they kind of leave it at these two, because I don't really need more than this. So they do more. I really don't know. I really don't know how. Like, the reason for them doing like, or like the reason they give for the him coming back is that like there's some kids who he kind of got away with killing, like the first kids he killed, and so like that kind of brings him back. You don't really need to explain all of it, especially in a world where like this like psychic girl lives. Um, Honestly, I came up with an idea. I'll probably talk about it. I'm probably going to review it later, but yeah, I won't get into it too much here. But let's move on. Next up, we got Begonia, and I was hesitant to put it here because I was like, is it really a horror film? Is it not? But you know what? Like, it has a lot of horrifying things in it, and even like ideas. So I put it here. It's Yorgos Lanthimos again, and he's really good at giving you these unsettling films. That's where it's like Killing of a Sacred Deer. I don't know if I'd really, on its face value, I don't think I'd count it as horror, but then it's very psychological horror, very like, what is going on? Like, why is everyone? Why is everyone acting like this, and not just acting like this? Why is this happening? And then the same thing with Begonia. Like, he gives you this very strange situation where Jesse Plemons is this guy who believes that Emma Stone is an alien, and that she's trying to take over the world. And so she communicates with her hair, so he has to shave her head. And it's a crazy, crazy movie. And I love that he was like, hey, I made these movies with Emma Stone, The Favorite, and Poor Things, and Kinds of Kindness, or whatever. I didn't get to see that one. I heard it was okay. But, I really wanted to see this because it's such a weird concept. And then you watch it, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm getting at the end, where it has one of the most bizarre, and I love that they take a chance on it kind of ending. I wish more movies would go for it and actually be crazy and do something like this, because I love it. I love that they decided to be like, you know what? Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. And you're just left with like I was literally like smiling, mouth open at the being stunned that they just went with it with the ending. And I was like, yes, more movies need to do this. And I'd love them for it even more. But I don't want to spoil it because, like, that is another one I do want to review as well. So we'll talk about it later in the year. Now we're getting into my top 5 for the year. And I'm going to go with, I know people are going to be like, that this is your top 5? I mean, not for I know the 4 are going to be, most people will probably be like, hey, that's a solid top 4. But I think for the 5th one, I think that's where everybody is going to be like, that's what you put as number 5? The Monkey. All right, I put The Monkey in number 5. I loved The Monkey. I thought it was hilarious from start to finish. I watched it again. Hilarious still. And I love that Stephen King can write like such a short story, and that Osgood Perkins could take the short story and make it ridiculous, over the top, hilarious, and give it still that Osgood Perkins, that Osgood, feel. like like Long Legs was amazing. Keeper is a great film. The Blackcoat's Daughter, so amazing. I love that movie. And The Monkey is just another. I just can't wait to see what he does. The Monkey is ridiculous. I reviewed it for this year. It's over the top. It's hilarious. I mean, like the fact that like he goes to try and, you know, bond with his son one last time, and then it turns out that the monkey, you know, ends up just basically ending like the world, kind of in the end. I it's done so well. Tatiana Maslany, mm, beautiful. And I wish it was in more things. And just this, it was just so good. I loved it. I loved it from the first time I saw it. I loved it again when I saw it again. It's a great movie. It's a great fun time, and to watch it anytime. Honestly, it's so good. Go watch it right now. It's hilarious. Number 4, Bring Her Back. Now, Bring Her Back is not a sequel to Talk to Me, although we're getting hints that there's some universe being built here from the Philip Howe brothers, and I don't know what it is. And we had like that tape that she gets oh, what's her name? Ah, Sally Hawkins. She gets the tape, and she is able to bring back the one kid, or using the one kid, she's trying to bring back her daughter. And then she fosters the girl who's blind, and her brother, and just how like these little things here and there just add up to so much, and then God, it was really good. It's really dark. There's oh God, the parts where he's like the little kid is just like eating the plate, and then he's like, God, he takes the knife and oh my God, is chewing on the knife. I reviewed this film also. So go back and check out that review if you want. But it's disturbing, and they know how to do disturbing. Like Talk to Me also was disturbing in a lot of ways, and I just can't wait to see what they do next because I know they're gonna do a. I know they want to do a prequel to Talk to Me, but they also want to do like a sequel. And there's something with this because there was a subreddit called the Black Angel Tapes or something that I'm a part of too, and because there was a website or something like that was selling like the tape that she's like watching or something, and it was selling other things. It's a very disturbing website, and if they're the ones doing it, which I think they are as part of the marketing, it gives me the chills because it's like it like don't go on there late at night, which is what I did, and you're just gonna be like freaking yourself out because it's a lot of creepy stuff, and honestly, can't wait. I just can't wait for what more they're gonna do with this because it's like I said, it's disturbing, and I when I watched it again, it's really good. Um, it's honestly I genuinely don't know how they made these films because I'm like, what possesses you to make to come up with these ideas? But let's move on to my number three, Frankenstein. Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. He is a master, an artiste. He's one of my favorite directors of all time, and it comes closer to me because I'm Mexican, Mexican American, and he's Mexican, like he's from Mexico. And I see a lot of myself in him. You know, I'm a bigger guy. I got glasses. I got a beard, and so I see a lot of myself in Guillermo del Toro, and he's just a great director. The Shape of Water, winning Best Picture, winning him an Oscar for directing. The Shape of Water is a great movie. Honestly, I don't know why people don't like that movie. It's amazing. The Nightmare Alley, just another one, so good. And then I reviewed Crimson Peak, I think last year or the year before. Oh God, Crimson Peak is, and I could see I could see it in watching Crimson Peak, and then have because I saw Nightmare Alley first. I'm like, yes, I see it. I see how he's got like certain style, and then like the Crimson Peak and Nightmare Alley are shot very similar, where like Shape of Water and Hellboy 2 are shot similar, and then something like Pacific Rim, and then there's like Pan's Labyrinth, and they all have their own uniqueness. He's so good. He's just amazing, and he does it again with Frankenstein. I he Oscar Isaac, amazing as Victor Frankenstein. Jacob Elordi does a great job as I think they call him Adam in this. I know in the novel he's called Adam. Um as the monster, quote unquote. And then Mia Goth does double. She plays his mom, um Oscar Isaac's Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein's mom, and he plays I think it's Elizabeth, right? It's the brother's fiance. I honestly did not know it was her as the mom. I was like, no way. Like they made her look so different, but but there was something about her. I was like, there's something about her. Jeez, and Christoph Waltz, amazing like always. He gives a great performance. All of them firing on all cylinders. It looks amazing. It's shot amazingly. I love that it's close to the novel. It's close that we're getting from like than some other stuff. And I know that there wasn't a lot of people that liked it. A lot of critics didn't really like it, but I'm like, because they wanted something like the classic Frankenstein from the 40s with Boris Karloff and all that. And it's like, come on, that's taking it like taking not not advantage, but like cutting out all the things that made it Frankenstein and just trying to give you a monster movie. This is like giving you the true like, hey, Victor Frankenstein's the monster. He's the monster. And it's just so good. It was amazing. I got to see it before everybody. Like I saw it in theaters. I had to go way out of my way to go see it in theaters, but I saw it in theaters. I loved it. It was amazing. It was so good. Highly recommend it if you have not watched it on Netflix. Go watch it on Netflix now. Go watch it right now. Because honestly, to be very honest, I could see it being nominated for Best Picture. If it's not, okay, I can see them. But like they nominated The Shape of Water. How are you not going to do this? Like The Shape of Water is basically his like first go at Frankenstein when he, especially when you learn that Guillermo del Toro has been wanting to do Frankenstein like since he was a little boy. He was just a little boy running around in Mexico like, I can't wait. It's the greatest love story of all time is a Frankenstein. Can't wait to make that when I'm a big man. Is what I assume he says. Or said when he was a little kid. Okay. Top two, here we go. Here's my number two. Weapons. You guys knew it was gonna be Weapons. Weapons was so fucking good. It was so good. I loved it. I from start to beginning, or from beginning to end. I love the way that they do from the different points of view. I love the way that it's shot. Josh Brolin, Julie Gardner, um, God, just from beginning to end, it's so good. It's so interesting. It's I Zach Krager is just so good at crafting, and then maybe it's because like he did comedy, but we've seen that like when you're closer to comedy, you're really good at doing horror, which is weird. Like we've seen with Jordan Peele, he's able to give us great horror films and unique ideas. And the same thing with Zach Krieger. Barbarian was so unique and different, and I loved it. And I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. But Weapons 2 was just like I I'm like I wish I could just see into his head and be like, what are you thinking when you're writing this? And I know there's a lot of discourse about like this or that and what it means and how it means and who it means or whatever. And some people not liking it and being like, oh, it's overrated, this and that. But it's telling the story and it's just so good. It's just so interesting and just so intricate and with Aunt Gladys and stuff. And I think he's working on like a prequel to it, and I wish we wouldn't get just a prequel or a sequel. I wish we would get just another unique story, just another unique idea from him. But if we're gonna get something, hey, let's get something like that, and then maybe we can move on from that. But it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how more to like just say how like it's shot so well, it's acted so well. It's just it's such a good film, and I had been waiting for it because I knew that because as soon as Barbarian came and it was good, and they were like, let's get him some to do something else. I was like, yes, okay, yeah. And then hearing more, like we didn't really know anything about it to be fair to till like maybe a few months before, and even that like, and I love that. I love that they left it with the mystery, and all we knew was just like, hey, that at this time on this day, 17 kids disappeared or something like that, and it's just crazy. And I'm glad. Like, I love like when they build up with like long legs, or they just put out like these short like little clips that were like, I think, pictures that were just showing these like disturbing things. And it was like, I like that. I like that a lot. But also building up this from nothing, building nothing, and then right when it's going to come out, be like, hey, this is kind of what if the story's going to be. And then you're like, what? And you go see it, and you're just like blown. And I was blown away. I was blown away. I loved it. Not really much more to say because I did review it too, and go check out that review. But let's get on to my number one for this year, which was obviously going to be Sinners. Sinners it came out a while back at the beginning of the year or whatever. But Ryan Coogler, I'm just saying, if Sinners is not okay, so like Frankenstein could be nominated because it's Guillermo del Toro. Maybe even I've seen people talk Begonia, Yorgos Lanthimos. Okay, I don't think Weapons will be because it's more. I think it's more just divisive. All right, but right now I'm telling you, if Sinners is not nominated for Best Picture this year for 2026 or 2025, I am going to riot in the street because how would you not nominate this movie? This is probably one of the best movies ever. It's so good. It's got such a unique story. It's got such a unique cast. It's got such a there's so many layers to the story. Just about a vampire who's trying to get his culture back by stealing other people's culture in the South during segregation. When, after these people who had literally been stolen from their land and had their culture stolen, creating their own new unique culture, and now it's trying to be stolen by it's there's the scene with the dancing and the in the club and the different, and it flashes to different time periods of dance and music styles, and it's just it's probably one of the greatest films of all time. There's scenes, and I got to see it in IMAX, that only work in IMAX, and they're beautiful. They're like, it's like watching a moving painting. It's so good. Like that's what I love about cinematography, is when it's just like, man. And then just the acting is amazing. Haley Steinfeld, amazing. Michael B. Jordan, great. Wumi, I can never remember her last name. Amazing, great performances. Delroy Lindo, I think that's his name. Oh, God, if he's not nominated for supporting actor, I'm also gonna, because he makes that movie, like his scenes where he comes in and he's just, as soon as he's on screen, God, that character just livens everything up, and it adds so much texture and just so much, and you're just like, you just feel like you're back in that period where they're just trying to live their lives, they're trying to build their lives, and other people, white people, just come in and ruin it, and there's that like texture to it too, of like, and then they just get into so much, and it's just, this movie is probably like, it was the best movie last year. But there was another one, a couple other movies that were really good, but for like top horror films from last year, Sinners, number one. It came and blew everything apart, and I'm glad. I'm glad, because we need things like this. We need things that are gonna show like you can make a movie that has so many so many, and I loved watching. Like there were so many TikToks and YouTube videos and reels that were just people just talking about the layers of this, the layers of that, and like how he pieces together. And some people were gonna be like, it was just from dusk till dawn. Uh, the same thing. It's not the same thing. Not at all. Not even close. I rewatched Sinners. I saw Sinners twice in theaters. I saw it at home. I own it now. I love it. It's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know what's wrong with you. You need to go see it, or else you're racist. That's gonna be the short and skinny of it. Um, but uh, it's just such an amazing film. Before I do end off though, I do want to talk about a couple of films that are going to be coming out next year. So, all right, so let's talk about really quick Evil Dead Burn. It's going to come out next year. Seems pretty good, especially the last Evil Dead Rise was pretty good. Now we got Scream 7. I'm not 100% sure if I'm ready for that and if I want to see it. There's just been so much controversy, and they got rid of Melissa Barrera. I love Melissa Barrera, and then Jenna Ortega left, and now you're doing it about Sydney just to like bring it back, and it's like, why are you doing all this stuff? And you're bringing back Stu with Matthew Lillard, and it's like, what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to see it. I may try and bootleg it or something, or I might see it, and I just really don't want to give them money to watch something that might be bad. Then we got Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which is going to be, hopefully it's going to be great, because the first Ready or Not was amazing, and it came out of nowhere, and it was a really good one. I loved it. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Now, okay, don't like 28 Days Later. I hated it. I thought it was stupid. 20 weeks later, never watched it because I didn't like the first one. 28 years later, I didn't see. My friend saw it. He said it was okay, but that towards the end is where it gets really good. And I don't know. I don't know. I might. Uh, uh, who knows? I might see this one. Yeah. Especially if it's like different enough and it looks crazy. So maybe I'll give it a chance. Soulmate, I think that's gonna be a spin-off of Megan, I think, or something. It sounds kind of cool. Where like they put like the I don't know, soul into like a robot or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Terrifier 4, I think, is supposed to come out next year. All we really know is that, this is going to be the end, and it's going to tie up everything, and it's going to answer all the questions. And hopefully it's not bad, because the first Terrifier, well, all Hallows is not great. The first Terrifier is like, kind of bland. The second one, honestly, I really liked the second one. I thought that one was really good, especially that they expanded on the lore a lot more, and it got more about like the what's her name, uh, Sienna, um, and I just loved all that. But then the third one was just why it's fine. It's just, did we need a Christmas Terrifier? I don't know. But so hopefully the fourth one's good. Hopefully it's good enough that like it satisfies me to be like, okay, cool. Like this, okay, Terrifier ended pretty good now. But if it doesn't, then it's just like the first or the third one. Then it's like it's gore for no reason. It's just kind of like people like art, and it's like he's fine. I don't know. Whatever. Werewolf. Oh God, this is gonna be amazing. Robert Eggers. Ooh. And then like the fact that no, he's doing it like where they speak like the the English at the time or something. It's gonna be crazy. I love how just intricate and how like so much attention to detail he puts into his film with like the witch and the lighthouse and Nosferatu. I haven't seen the Northman, but I heard it's amazing. And God, this is gonna be good. I love Robert Eggers. He's so good, and Willem Dafoe's gonna be in it. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, and Ralph Ineson. Ralph Ineson, he's so good. I wish he was in more things. He's in things here and there. We're supposed to get Thread, maybe that's an Insidious Tale. That's one with Mandy Moore and Kumail Nanjiani. But I don't know. I talked about that like 2 years ago. The writer strike did happen, so that could have pushed it back. I don't know. And I know that the Red Door, that was a newer Insidious. I know that one did pretty good, so I could see them keeping it going. Flowerville Street, we're finally gonna get that, hopefully. And I think that one is what's his name? Uh what the hell is David Robert Mitchell, yeah. And he did he did They Follow, or not They Follow. He's gonna be doing They Follow. It Follows, and I can't wait for that because It Follows is amazing. And the sequel to It Follows is They Follow. And that's kind of it. I don't really see any more on here as I'm looking through. There'll be things that pop up here and there that I'm like, oh yeah, this. I just can't wait because I'm anticipating that like it's gonna be on a roll still for horror. Horror's been on like a roll. It's been getting the acclaim it finally deserves. So hopefully, we'll still love it. So what did you think of the horror films from 2025? What do you think about the horror films that are going to come out in 2026? What's your favorite film from this year? Overall, I'd say it's probably going to be, I'd probably say just Sinners. We want to thank you all for listening, and if you like what you hear, please subscribe to get every new episode downloaded. Do you have any personal or fictional, paranormal, supernatural, or unexplainable stories? We'd love to read them on the podcast. Please send your stories, recommendations, or anything else to horrorboxpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to show more support, you can follow our socials on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and check out our YouTube channel, all at Horrorbox Podcast on all sites. Also, you can buy me a coffee at coffee.com/horrorboxpodcast. It really helps out. Until next time, Happy New Year. This is Dom, signing off from the Horrorbox.